pretty much losing everything. It was a nightmare. I was just not in a good place mentally, barely making bills. I have nothing to lose now. Nothing changes if nothing changes. And I'm just going to stick in the same cycle over and over. I've invested in most of my money that I had.
How much did you close your first day?
$800 my first day on the offer.
How much did you make last month?
21,000 Canadian. But I want to hit 25.
I know you're going to do more. What's going on, brother?
How we doing, Blaine?
I'm doing good, man. How's your month going so far?
A little slower than end of April because John switched to closing, so had to replace his production, getting some more setters trained up, and it's looking up from now. So hopefully we start cooking a little more. I got 2 deals already this morning, so it's been a little slow, but not like slow in terms of like slow. I've still made like $3,000. It's just not where I want to be.
Yeah.
I want to be the top closer, It's really all this offers just really all comes down to the setters and getting them trained up and everything, and then me just executing.
Makes sense, bro. Well, I've never done like a student interview before, so it's just gonna be like off the rip, and that's how I like to do things anyways. So it doesn't need to be like anything crazy. Before we like jump into it, I'll just ask about like where were you at before you got into this stuff, where you're at now, like how has things changed, like what do you feel like got you to where you're at, just all that stuff, right? Just like, basic conversation, honestly.
Feel pretty awesome. Still, I think we get paid tomorrow, so I'm still waiting on that for like the first like big check. So like the main thing in my mind right now, which is kind of tough, but also exciting at the same time, like getting paid monthly, like still getting used to that. I know I obviously had that in insurance, but never like as big as what I'm dealing with now. So that's kind of all on my mind, and also just like continuing the production literally 37 days in a row. So this is an adjustment. I've never really done that with anything before.
Yeah, but it's there. It's worth it, right?
Yeah, no, once the money's there, like it's a lot easier to work every day.
Yeah, dude. Last year, we didn't get paid until the end of the month. So that was good and bad. Like it was cool getting like a good amount of money coming in, but I like bi-weekly for sure. We could jump into it. Declan, it's good to have you here, bro. How's it been so far, right? Like when did you start high ticket sales? Like when did you get into it?
So I started high ticket sales all the way back. My first ever job with it was with Tuser in about fall 2024. I was an SDR for him. He would run like a webinar funnel to get like a bunch of SDRs to apply, and then they do like tryouts. That's how he would hire them, not like Google Forms. And then I made my way through the trials. I think they only hired like 5. I know that you started closing like a couple months into me working there because you were with them, and then came back, and you came back like right as I was leaving. I was there for about 3 months, I think.
Yeah.
That was like my first experience, and I was like knee deep in college at the time. So like I don't think I worked nearly enough to like see the results. I probably only made like $5,000 over those 3 months, so it wasn't like anything crazy, and I was probably just not as committed as you needed to be. So I was kind of like, that wasn't really for me. Like, let me try something else. I got into insurance just because like my dad did life insurance for so long. So he was like, why not try insurance? And a lot of guys, that I knew from school were doing it. So I got in, unfortunately got in with the wrong company, and it was kind of shady and didn't really run correctly. And, they're selling you crap, telling you it's gold, kind of, just your average life insurance, agency. Did that for a while. Everything to do the chargebacks and went through a whole lawsuit and everything. It was a nightmare.
You came into digital marketing, like my program, in January, right? Is that when you came in?
Middle of December, I think.
Okay, middle of December. What was going through your head, right? Because I know you reached out to me on Instagram, and obviously we've kind of known each other off and on for a while. Like what was going through your head that made you want to get back into high ticket sales?
So I was working for like a tech startup at the time, like last fall, and it was just a lot of cold calling, right? Just like what I've been doing with life insurance and with that other cold calling role. And I did door to door. Like I was tired of just basically like slaving away for people that weren't like interested in what I was selling. So I know that you had a lot of success with it. And, I saw that you were starting up a program, and obviously you were one of the only people that I like personally knew in the space. So I kind of got lucky with that, and just kind of saw that you were starting that on an Instagram story, and just decided to, test my options. Cause I was applying to like roofing roles. Like I was, just kind of, throwing a bunch of shit at the wall and hoping something sticks. But what I was doing was just not working. It was not making me happy, just to put it bluntly. Like I was just not in a good place mentally. So that's why I joined, because I know the potential of this, industry. And I've seen people obviously like yourself do it. And I just figured like, why not me? I've tried before. I have nothing to lose now. So like, why not give it a real shot?
Why do you feel like you said you weren't happy with where you were at? Like why do you say that?
It sounds shallow, but just like, nobody's really happy when you're just kind of scraping by, barely making bills, and me being a college dropout too, like maybe this is, irrational, but having a lot of that pressure on yourself from, outside sources of like family of like, oh, is he just going to be a burnout? Like he dropped out, he's not going the traditional route and now he's making below average income. What is he going to do with his life? So that's weighing over your head, even if you pretend that, it doesn't affect you, which obviously I would, it still does have an effect on you, especially as a young kid when everyone is still in college and probably talking behind your back. So kind of weighed on me and I just wanted to prove them wrong, really.
Yeah, it's sick, dude. Obviously, you made an investment to come in here. And how was that when you invested into this? Was that like a lot of money for you at the time, or like
Most
how
of
was
my
that?
money that I had, even though like I've invested in things before, like I'm not afraid of risk, even though I've failed a lot of times before. I just know, in my head that everyone who's ever been successful has taken a bunch of risk. So if you're trying to be like them, then you just need to align yourself with that. And that's just what I was telling myself at that time. Like nothing changes if nothing changes. What is this money doing? Just sitting in my bank account. It's eventually just going to go to bills and I'm just going to stick in the same cycle over and over. So you got to try other shit. You got to give yourself a chance at least.
Were you scared? Did you have like any fear like when you were investing into this?
The thing is, like with high ticket sales, is it's not like luck, in my opinion. It's a skill set. I wasn't as scared as if I was investing into something like, e-com or SMMA or like a business model where I have to like start my own business where you don't know if the money's coming in. Like all I knew is that I just need to get on a roll and start building my skills and then the money will follow because it's just a direct correlation between your skill set and the time that you put in. Instead of you could put all the time and money that you have into a business, but you don't know for sure if it's going to pay off, right?
Yeah.
This is a little different. So I was scared for sure, but I also knew like I just need to do it, and just put in the reps and it'll come.
Yeah, exactly. Because you've tried a lot of things.
Yeah.
And I'm the same. You came in, and how long was it before you were actually like on an offer?
Yeah, obviously it was like around Christmas time when I joined. So I probably could have joined an offer even sooner. I think I was just like at home transitioning between jobs. I think it was within like 2.5 weeks, honestly, maybe 3 weeks tops.
And you did pretty good when you first got on the offer. Like
yeah,
then,
I mean, like
your first day, like how much did you close your first day?
8,000 cash collected. I made $800 my first day on the offer.
That's cool.
Obviously, that was a good feeling. Like, and I was obviously still like beginning out. So the first couple of months, like they were good, better than it's like the average salary job. That's what I was making, but I was really just building my skills, so I wasn't too worried at the time about the money I was making. And we had a lot of conversations about that. Like, the money will come. It's just, you got to continue grinding away basically and just trusting that it's going to come eventually. Then the money wasn't, I was making bills fine. So that stress went away. It was more just like, how can I be as good as possible?
Obviously last month was April. Like how much did you make last month?
I pulled it up 21,000 Canadian because I work on a Canadian offer, which is a 15,500, I think, USD, which is obviously pretty awesome, for my first month on that offer too.
A lot of people in high ticket sales, they never actually, it takes them so long to hit something like that. I mean, you did it promptly, like I would say probably within 3 months, like 3 full months of actually being in the space. Like, why do you feel like you were able to hit that number in person, like when other people can't?
I think a lot of it has to do with the offer, finding a place that not only like has the ownership that wants you to succeed and like will like accommodate to things that help you do better, but also just understanding that this shit's it's not like easy, like you have to just accept that and accept that it's going to take more work than most things will, but that's why you get paid more than most people do. You have to sacrifice things like, I work pretty much every day. This is, a lifestyle, but that's the sacrifice that you make for the, the future life that you're looking for. Right. And it also gives me the opportunity to be like, hey, if me and my girlfriend want to go on a vacation, I put in the work, my company sees that I'm allowed to go and then take time off when I need, but it's like, you're putting in the reps day in, day out. I'm working Saturday nights. I'm on the phones at 2 a.m., when most people are sleeping, most people are at the bar, Sunday morning, then I'm up at 9 a.m. on the calls. Obviously you can work, a couple hours a day if you want, but if you really want to see like the 20K, 30K months, like, you're making multiple high 6 figures, you got to do what most people can't do. And I think that just takes, a certain level of mental commitment. You're not like you're 7 deals into a day, or like you've closed like, whatever, on your offer, you've closed 10K, 15K cash collected. That's not when it's like, oh, I can relax. That my mindset is like, that's when you push harder because you're in a good flow state. So like, I think that's the difference between like a good closer and a great closer. Just continuing to push, like even when you're 5, 6, 8 deals into the day and then doing it the next morning, just like nothing happened.
Yeah, exactly. You got to keep it going because you've tried tried a lot of different sales. Like this industry is like pretty different. Obviously, it's really different than a lot of things out there. Like, how do you feel about this industry compared to, like you said, you've done life insurance, you're at a tech startup. Like, what's your perspective on this compared to those things?
Obviously, they all have their own pros and cons, right? There's a reason why there's people that are successful in every industry. Like you can make anything work. That's all that I've learned. Like any business model works. Nobody, like, it's not like a scam or saturated. Like you can make it work. It's all just like, what are the pros and cons based on your lifestyle? And do you want to be cold calling all day? If you're good at that, then go do life insurance. You'll be good at that. Are you looking more to talk to interested people, every single day? Then this is more of that industry. And it's a lot less corporate, in my opinion, as well. Like if you don't like corporate stuff, like corporate structure and style, and you like more of like, I wouldn't say like laid back, like it's not laid back, but it's not like, you've got HR and your sales manager hounding down your neck every hour of the day, hounding about quota. I feel like that allows me to just relax. I think being relaxed and not stressed out in sales is super important, and that allows you to actually perform better. So it just fits better for me because I don't feel that constant, like, oh, am I going to get fired all the time? Which sometimes it feels like that when you're in a corporate structure.
I think it's pretty cool, dude, that you hit 15K in a month. I mean, I know you're going to do more, obviously, like you could do a lot more.
I'm on pace for 23 this month, but I want to hit 25.
Yeah. Is that like USD?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
nice, dude. How old are you again? 21 or 22? 21.
Yeah,
bro.
21.
So, like, I didn't get into this until I was literally 22, getting ready to turn 23, right? You're farther ahead than when I was 21, bro. So, I mean, obviously, like, you've been an entrepreneur for a while and, been like kind of known about this space, but like, I don't know, like, it's cliche, but like, how does it actually feel like you to look back like, okay, fuck yeah, I made $15,000 at 21 years old as a closer. Does that feel cool? Like, or like, how does that feel, honestly?
Yeah, it's cool, but like I feel like when you look at it that way and I don't want to settle when you have high standards for yourself, and you're able to break the limiting beliefs, which, as you know, took me a long time. And then when you finally do, it feels like, there's always just that next step that you can take, just being 1% better every day. So yeah, I feel amazing, but I know that I can do a lot more. So there's always ways to improve. There's always ways to make more, and not only make more, but also, improve my lifestyle, right? Like, I got into this space because I'm able to travel the world. I'm able to work from anywhere. Like I can take calls from the pool, from the golf course, like just the lifestyle that it provides. That's what makes me the happiest. The money is great, right? But it's what more like what that allows me to do is what actually makes me happy.
Where do you want to go with it? I mean, what's your vision with it? Like some people come into this space to make 20, 30K and then they ride that for 4 months and then do something else. Like what's your mindset with it right now?
I think right now, I'm just trying to take it month by month, really, day by day, and just try not to future pace too hard, because when I do that, usually I've messed myself up in the past, just trying to, hop to the next, best thing, right? Like, I'm just trying to stay even keel for as long as I can, and then, just take whatever comes as it goes. Because maybe I want to, do my own thing in the future. Maybe not. I haven't decided. And again, I am only 21, so I've got plenty of time to figure that out. But if I do this for the next 4 years, like God bless, this offer that I'm on right now, which is an amazing one, stays for the next 4 years, which, that's what they're projecting. If I could stay there, make $2 or $3 million the next 4 years, now I've got a solid investment to go and do whatever I really want to do moving forward long term.
Yeah.
Whether that's my own thing or invest in someone else's thing or partner with other people. It's also the connections as well. Think about, how many people I've met already, just, all business minded people. Like, once they start we all make a lot of money together. Like you'll always have those people in your network to then do business with for the rest of your life.
Yeah, exactly. You are. I mean, the offer you're on, you're around really some top people in the industry. Nathan he's a G. And yeah, like one thing you mentioned, like you said, like the offer is a really big part of it. I think it's really, 80% of success in high ticket sales is coming down to the offer. Like if there was someone out there, right? Because I've spoken with a lot of people that, I don't work with or that I do work with. They've been in this space for a long time. They haven't been able to get on like actually like good offers. What would you say to someone that like actually wants to get on good offers? Like your honest like recommendation on how to do that. Like what would you say to them?
As honest as physically possible. It's just dropping the ego and getting on offers. And then, I mean, this is so cliche, but just like being a nice dude, like just like network networking and like getting to know everyone that you work with on every offer that you are on, because you never know, one person can change your whole life. Like just like how it worked with me, like the fact that I was able to connect with everyone that was on that original offer, and I would always follow up with them and like, check in on how they're doing. That's how I got this job, because I was just checking in with, one of my old appointment setters who ended up getting a sales manager job at this offer and said, we need another closer. I know we worked well together on that other one. Do you want the job? I didn't even have to interview. It's just because I knew him. I built a good, relationship with him, and, I was able to find my way into that. And that's just a lot of the game with not just this, but business in general. It's just building good relationships with people and always following up and just being a good person, and then that will be rewarded back to you. That's my honest advice. I mean, it's kind of basic, but like I feel like business is so basic. It's just doing the simple things better than most people do.
It's the truth. I'm actually proud of you, bro. Like, you worked on an offer, where you did all right, but you made the right decisions. I think it comes down just to the decisions that you make, like you obviously weren't scared to pivot, make decisions. And then that's why you made $15,000 last month, right? Like a lot of people stay on one offer that's not serving them, or in a situation that's not serving them, because it's like the comfortable thing to do. They end up losing money because of that, right? But like you said before, like you're not scared to take risks, and obviously that's paid off for you, right? So I'm proud of you, man. But yeah, dude, I look forward to you hitting a 25K month, 30K month, bro. That's gonna be sick.
Dude, that's gonna be crazy. I'm super hyped for that, to be honest. I'm really excited. We're gonna go up to Vancouver, hang out with Nathan, and
oh really?
Yeah, he's gonna take us out on his yacht, and we're gonna have some fun up there with the team. We're gonna do like a closer trip, and then like a golf trip as well. And we might, in the fall do an Indonesia month where we all like just work out of like Bali or Thailand or something for a month, and that's gonna be really fun.
Yeah, man, that'll be sick, dude.
Super excited.
Cool.